Before you can make women uncomfortable with your awkward conversation, you need to be able to approach and talk to them. This is indeed a big one. No tips I can give you about the way you should talk, dress, move, breathe, or think are going to do you any good if you can't. Well, just go there and open your mouth. Oh geez, what did I try to overcome this problem? Or rather, what didn't I try? Meditation, yoga, listening to tapes, hypnosis. None of that ever worked. I'm sorry to break this out for you in this way, but there is no simple solution. Again, I am not here to tell you about some magic trick, or give you the same cliché line, God how I hate this one. You just have to be confident. Yes, and I also have to be an avocado. But I am not mature enough yet. Get it? The fact that you can't approach people, let's just say women, it's simply due to fear of rejection. Or because you think that rejection, whatever that may look like, it's going to be far worse than any potential positive outcome. In essence, you are being a drama queen. There is also the other side of the spectrum, disappointment, because you idealize the outcome. Thinking that she is going to fall in love with you just by talking to her a little. From my experience, not impossible, but it is a long way until you get there. Of course, I speak to you from the other side. There was a time I was incapable of talking to women, or approaching them for that matter. I became so desperate that I developed severe depression, up to the point of questioning myself what life was worth living. It was bad, but those times are long gone. Through hard work and discipline, I managed to turn things around for good. So I will say it multiple times through this blog until I get to drill that idea in your brain. Hard work pays off. Through discipline, effort and tons of courage, you will also turn things around for yourself. So what did I do? Or rather, what did I start doing? Well, that is one lesson of life, always be constructive. Sales. Yes, you read that correctly. I began working on sales. Phone sales to be precise, the most horrible, nausea-inducing way of marketing there is, after selling vacuum cleaners from door to door, of course. Moreover, I also had to make appointments to meet with potential clients, and close the deal, or at least try. But how could somebody with this social anxiety, and overall nervousness, could ever hope to do such a thing? Well, I read somewhere that one technique I could use is simply writing a script, a somehow structured dialogue that I could apply depending on the situation. Fake it until you make it, or so I thought. Oh boy. When I started, people were rude, very rude. They will call the product names, they will call me names, they will curse my name, they will call the local government so I could get exiled. It wasn't easy. More often than not I will come across as nervous. I can tell you, that vibe always gave people the wrong impression. There was this time one guy gave me an appointment just so he can tell me in person how much my product sucked, how much he hated my calls, my emails, told you I was stubborn, and how I could go to do what myself. It didn't make a difference if the product could be great for them or not. People didn't want to hear about it just because my delivery and overall attitude were off. In other words, I wasn't pitching the product with confidence. However, this confidence will come through practice, knowing the product better, refuting counter-arguments, and simply learning how to properly deliver the highlights of it. And although I wasn't really getting more confident as an individual, the fact that I could communicate with more confidence over time was making a huge difference. The whole process wasn't pretty. However, I did manage to close some sales and contracts along the way. I was in my early 20s still. And it didn't get way easier through time. Of course, I became better at my job, better prepared, wittier if you will. But still some people were rude just because I called at the wrong time. How was I supposed to ever know that? Were they getting a tooth removed? Did they recently sit on their bicycle and forgot to put the seat on? I don't know. Over time I also realized that this is exactly the same situation with women. You may be charismatic, confident, funny, experienced, and yet she may reject you just because you talked to her at the wrong time. Whatever the case, and yes, you may have heard this one before, don't take it so personally, because let's face it. It is personal after all, but you are unlikely to be the first guy she has ever rejected. Furthermore, an even bigger realization during this whole experience was that how you come across makes a huge difference in how other people will react to you, and whatever you have to say. It wasn't about the product, in this case software, had suddenly become any better than before. My level of success increased entirely because I was expressing myself with more confidence. So you see, aren't just women who will react better if you express yourself with confidence, people overall will have a better perception of you and hence they will be more open to listening to your ideas. Even when those ideas may be at times really dumb. However, my confidence as a man will come years later, not by faking it until I was able to make it, but this will stem from my success, achievements, and my many trials and tribulations. This is why I hate this phrase. You have to be confident. Being confident isn't something that you can turn on and off, but something that you will develop through your journey as a man. That's why many men don't become confident until they reach their mid-30s. And that's also the reason why they tend to become more successful with women. Because it's through all those years of learning and putting yourself to the test, that you will develop this core aspect of your personality. And so, should you get into sales? Well, that depends on your life situation, of course, but if you are scared to death of rejection, that will be shock therapy. Of course, I was also motivated by the fact that I needed the money, but I could have got a job on something that didn't involve talking to people. Anyhow, was that the magic formula? Did this break through this invisible wall? No, not really. It was just one of the first things I would try to fix the problem, not the solution. At the time, I just learned one thing. This was going to be a long and tough journey.